gas-powered truck versus turbo diesel, an off-road trailer behind a truck versus an off-road camper on a truck. In this fun video, I brought these two beautiful beasts right here into the Rocky Mountains to show you two of the most popular ways to get off the grid and go overlanding, off the beaten path, and to see what you think. What's your favorite way of off-roading on a long adventure? Is it bringing a trailer or bringing a four-wheel camper? Let's find out. Yeah, I brought some big guns for this comparison. The truck you see behind me right there is a four-wheel camper build. It's a 1-ton Ram 3500 Cummins turbo diesel. It used to have an 8-foot bed, but now it has a flatbed Hawk camper from 4-wheel campers. And it's a four-wheel drive truck with a lift on 37s. And that's exactly what you need when going off the grid. You need a comfortable place to sleep. You need to bring water with you, supplies. What else do you need? It's all in this camper. Or you can do something completely different. You can bring a super truck with you, like this Ram TRX with a supercharged engine and 702 horsepower. And because this is a short bed, you can't really bring a nice enough truck camper, but you can do this. You can bring a little teardrop trailer with a room to sleep for two and a lot of other amenities. And you could maybe leave it at your campsite and then have fun in your truck. So this is why I'm doing this comparison. I want to see which truck I love more. So the first test is going to be this little water crossing and also kind of a big articulating section. So let's do it. Whenever we go off-road, we don't leave home without onX off-road maps. And this is because of the place like this. It's a perfect example because you have 4 different trails coming off of the same trailhead and 2 of them have the same name. So how do you know where to go? Well, this is precisely why I use this map. In offline mode, I can tell exactly where I am and where I need to go. Challenge number 1, this little creek crossing and this rutted out section. So why did I bring the TRX? Well, partially because this is a long-term test truck this year and also because I'm spoiled. But also because I wanted to show you that you can actually bring any truck, hook up a little trailer like this, Colorado Teardrop, which weighs about 1,700 pounds, give and take, and take it off the beaten path and go off-road, because the truck like the TRX actually does not have a really great payload capacity and about what, 13 to 1,400 pounds, so I can't really bring a big camper. But what I can do is actually take my trailer in a difficult situation like this and hopefully make it out of here. And here's the thing about off-roading with a trailer. It's basically like driving off-road with an anchor behind you, because you think you've cleared an obstacle in your truck, and you have, and then you kind of almost forget about the trailer and you're like, oh yeah, the trailer is still behind me and the trailer needs to negotiate the same obstacle, but maybe it's offline a little bit, and now you're dragging this thing off an obstacle and you can't quite make it. So it's a whole different perspective and a whole different dynamic. But I did make this over this obstacle, and I can keep going to this remote camping spot and find a beautiful place. Okay, I'm gonna switch into 4 low. So shifting to neutral, stability control disabled, 4 low, that was pretty easy. And I'm approaching obstacle number 1, which is the water crossing and this little rutted out section. And the reason why I brought this truck, this Ram 1-ton, is because this is probably the primary best platform for a camper like this, because this truck from the factory had almost 4,200 pounds of payload. Yeah, huge payload. And then it was of course modified with a lift and 37s. It's still a very long wheelbase, so this lift and bigger tire option helps. So let me see if I can actually slowly climb up this rutted out section here. And so they put this aluminum Norwell bed on this. Oh yeah, good traction actually. And monstrous torque. I mean, that's why. It just walks up it. Oh, that's so good. It feels good when you actually have a truck that works properly. Even though this is not a power wagon, yes, it's really huge. It's about 8.5 feet high. So yes, it doesn't have, every advantage to it. But with these Maxxis tires, 4 low, a little bit of diesel torque, which is monstrous, 850 pound-feet, this truck just crawls over nicely. The second test is the reverse driving test. Why? Well, because this road is getting way too narrow for the TRX and maybe a little bit too tight for the big four-wheel camper. So I need to get out of here quickly, and I don't want to drive another mile or two and then find a wide enough place to turn around. So the second challenge is, can I back up this section and get out of here with both with a trailer or also in the camper? Here's the next element about off-roading with a trailer. First, you have to have really good clearance. So as you can tell here, this teardrop trailer has really beefy off-road tires and also plenty of clearance here. So even if the truck and trailer are articulating like this is still a very good clearance here, probably 2 feet. The next thing is the hitch itself. This company is using the lock and roll type of hitch, which means it swivels this way. It also can rotate, so it's like a three-dimensional gimbal, which is awesome. That means it cannot actually break or disconnect off-road. It's not like a ball hitch, which can kind of get jammed. So this will help me. I just don't know if it will help me while backing up. So let's find out. Yeah, so this particular trail is getting too narrow. It was labeled as 5 out of 10 on the difficulty scale on Onyx Off-Road, and it's also labeled as full width, but I don't think they were counting on a TRX extra wide body. So as such, I need to back up, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to practice backing up. I'm gonna pretend like I'm in CDL school again, although this trailer is way different than a semi because it's way shorter. As such, in a way it's a little bit more difficult to maneuver because it reacts very quickly to my inputs, and I also need to be mindful of the front of the truck, and I do not have a camera on the back of the trailer. So I'm gonna hit the truck here. This is not good. Okay, so I've recovered, and now I need to back up a little bit more this way. Okay, so this is a challenge. I mean, the other option would be to disconnect the trailer, which is actually very easy, and then maybe turn the truck around in another area, and then hook up the trailer again. But I want to do it the hard way, of course. Okay, the hard way, of course. This wouldn't be TFL off-road or TFL truck if we didn't do it the hard way. Thankfully, this part is really wide. This part is really, really wide, which is awesome. Okay. So far I didn't have to overcorrect too much. Yet. Oh boy. Maybe I spoke too soon. I think I spoke too soon. I don't have a 360-degree camera on this truck because this is also one of the more basic TRXs, and as such we didn't select. I'm a little I'm not lined up perfectly. Hang on a second, I need to pull forward once. Oof. That hitch is working wonders though, because I was really in an odd position and it never bound up. Okay, let me take another roll at it. Okay, now I'm gonna drop. I think I'm gonna drop in. I know this is riveting video. You know what? I don't think I want to do this again. I would have probably disconnected the trailer and just reconnected it later. I have to do it again. I have to reposition one more time. Okay, I'm out. Peace. Okay, well, I think that was more difficult than it needed to be. So, just to repeat the same kind of route as I did in the TRX. This trail is tight, like I said, so I'm going to reverse in this beast. And I do have a backup camera mounted on the very back of this new aluminum bed. And I can see behind the camper. So, that is nice. I know, although this was a Laramie truck originally, so it was well equipped with the side view cameras and the reverse camera, but it's now quite modified with lots of custom parts, including these bumpers, and it also does not have the greatest turning radius. I mean, it is a 1-ton truck and it has a humongous wheelbase. It also has a gigantic diesel tank, and I've done another video in this 4-wheel camper series where I also towed with this truck, showed you fuel economy there, what I can do on a 50 gallons of fuel with towing a boat, and I also did a MPG loop not towing and actually showed you what's possible there. And this truck is capable of tremendous range. Even with all this fully loaded weight of about 11,000 pounds. So this is no joke. Oh, now I'm gonna flex. Okay, I'm gonna drop a tire. This truck does have 2 solid axles, which means I do have decent articulation actually. Ooh, I just slid down. Okay. Checking my reverse camera. Seems okay. I don't have depth perception using this camera, so my mirrors are kind of my best options right now, using my eyes. So, getting back down. So you know what? I did have to correct myself a couple times backing up with the trailer, but I did not have to correct myself in this truck, even though this is not easy either. Do not have a lot of visibility out back. So maybe even in a big truck like this, maybe in some situations like this, it's a tiny bit more maneuverable than a truck and a trailer. Okay, I just switched to 4-low as well here on the TRX, and I'm gonna go a little slower, and I'm not too worried about this trailer. This trailer is very tough. What I am worried about is the $77,000 truck although it does have power folding mirrors. So I can go like this and try to squeeze in on this Rocky Mountain Trail without getting pinstriped. Okay, open my mirrors again, and just with a little bit of butter I can fit through and make sure my trailer fits through with its fenders. Okay, it was a tight squeeze, but I did it. And now I can see my camping spot. Yes! Alright, so, and of course in this camper I have another challenge. Actually, this heavy-duty Ram truck is not quite as wide as the TRX, believe it or not. It also has power side mirrors. Booyah! So I can squeeze through, probably width-wise a little bit better, but height is my issue now. So right above me is a pine tree. And let me open my window and look. Just fit. Now I have to be very, very mindful. This Hawk camper also has a few accessories. Not only does it have, 20 gallons of water, 2 showers, place for 4 to sleep, also has a roof rack on top, and also has solar panels, about 200 watts of solar, which means I don't want to damage it. It's quite expensive equipment, and if I'm bringing something on top like my kayak, I don't want to damage that either. So I do have many options. I have an ability to have a front mounted winch. I have 2 hitches, one in the front, one in the rear. I can bring my entire home with me and my entire family, but I do have this height restriction, which I have to be very mindful of. I did it. Yes, and here comes the camping spot once again. So yes, the trailer setup at the campsite was pretty easy. Just unhook it, make sure it's level, open it up, and then I could have some fun. I can actually zip around in the TRX. Here's another whole problem. Let's say I did want to zip around and go exploring a little bit more in the mountains here. What am I supposed to do with this? What if somebody steals it? I need to tie it to a tree. I need to lock it up. I need to put maybe a boot on it so nobody can take it away. That's also kind of an issue. So let me show you how easy the 4-wheel camper is and what's inside. Come in, step inside, let me show you around. I also wanted to point out why this is called a 4-wheel camper and not your neighborhood boulevard camper. It's because all aluminum construction, really toughly built. Over 50 years they've been building campers like this, and they last a long time, including this soft topper, which is really heavy duty and lasts decades. You can also convert this dinette into a bed for one. Down here there's a shower basin. Yes, you can have indoor shower or outdoor shower. You have of course, your stove, your sink, and an expendable bed up front over the cab where you can sleep anywhere from 2 to 3 people if you want. So, also cassette toilet is around, lithium-ion battery pack, solar, water. The Norwell bed also has a water tank. I'm carrying a 37-inch tall tire spare. And I have so much storage, I don't even know what to do with it. So that's what you get with this camper. there you have it, guys, about 4 different challenges. Off-roading, actually backing up on a tight trail, and then crossing a narrow section, and also, of course, setting up camp. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what's your preferences. After doing this video and after going off-road for many years here at TFL, actually I'm gonna choose probably the camper truck, the camper on top of a pickup, because it's a little bit easier off-road. Some of the more challenging sections I had to pick my line more carefully in the TRX because the trailer was kind of dragging behind me. If it's a little bit more wide open spaces, the trailer might work better. And then of course this truck is also huge, but for this particular test I feel better with this truck. And as always, go back to tfloffroad.com and tfltruck.com for all the latest news, views, and real world truck and off-road reviews. Coming up very soon on TFL Truck, our brand new video series for a few bucks less. Check it out. What is that?
An envelope. N's for you, T's for you, and A's for you.
Sweet.
We're calling this new series for a few bucks less.
This is 2,500 bucks.
Exactly.
Look at it. It's a B4000.
Were you living in here for a while?
Look at it! It's a 1965 Peugeot 404.
And the transmission is still there.
Aha! I thought you bought a Peugeot.
Taking that aside, everything pretty much works. Oh, I got him at the line!
Come on!
That's gonna be the slowest race ever done at this IMI track.
But here's what I found in my truck. You found that? It's a bat. It's still leaking.
It's a little tiny bit of oil.
Nathan, how do you feel against the mighty V8 right now?
So guys, the question now is, for a few bucks less, did you get a little less or a lot less? And there's only one way to figure that out.